All right, welcome back. So this is a follow-up video to my Pavo20 Pro series because I'm going to do the mod. So if you look on the AIO website, just move that over slightly, for this guy, F4 223S20 AIO, this is the one that comes with the Pavo20. There's a little FAQ here and it says, somewhere here, right, I can remove the chip bead to disconnect the power, and I can release UART3 by removing the two solder pads. So this disables ELRS on board, but I have external RC in, so that's fine. So this only works if you've got external RC in. And the reason I want to do this is because the pins that UART3 uses can also be used for I2C. So I've got a little change here. I'm gonna, if it all works successfully, I'll put up a PR that sort of produces a slightly different board, because there's no way of doing this on an alternate config, unfortunately. But if you can just kind of see the changes here, what I've done is I've removed the buzzer pin, and that's going to become my general GPIO pin for the LEDs. And then I've removed USART3, and USART1 has become serial protocol in, so you can see USART3 is gone here. USART6 that was spare is now going to be my GPS. If you remember, TX was the external LEDs, so that's why I need to move the LEDs. So no buzzer, but that seems like not a big issue. And then I2C is now on these pins here. So I2C2. So in theory, I can get a compass hooked up to what was USART3 and get GPS and compass working. And I've had to make slight changes to the bidirectional D-shot output just because the DMA setup is a challenge here, but that all seems to work. So I am now going to do the mod and see how easy it is. So I've got to disassemble the copter, unfortunately, and solder on some wires. So I might set that up now. Alright, so this is the compass and GPS I want to put on it. It's a little Matec M10 puck. And I've got one of the leads. And I think those leads are just going to be long enough because it's just got to sort of come around inside there. But to solder it on, I'm going to have to completely, I think it's going to be easiest to completely disassemble this and take off the board, so otherwise soldering is going to be super hard, so I'll do that now. My little piece of foam there, not so easy because this is attached. Quite sure what I'm going to do here. That's all welded in. What I might just do is, I think I can pull those out. Pop that in there. There we go. Right. There's the board. And so I'm going to have to get close and see if I can do this without taking the board off. I might do that, but I'm going to have to get close and see where these things are. Buzzer. All right, so next to the buzzer pin. Okay. So it's that resistor and this one here that's sort of at an angle. You need some really fine pliers. Okay, yeah, so it's that one there of those three, and then I'm assuming there's two little pads there next to the resistors, so I'm hoping that those are the RX and TX, so I might try and just cut them. Okay, here's my fine pliers. Let's see if these work on this resistor here. Of course, the chances of damaging this quite badly are quite high. And then I've got the capacitors in the way as well. My snips won't get on there. Try a knife. Okay, so with a knife I've been able to separate those resistors. Might have to try and clean that up with a soldering iron. And this one, take this prop off. There we go. Again, with a knife I can just prise it up. Alright, they're off. We'll see whether my board has survived. Now I've got to heat up my soldering iron. Alright, I need to load up the new firmware. Let's do that. Alright, let's get this firmware loaded using the command line. Help if you could hear me. There we go. pause while it compiles. Okay, here we go. Loading the firmware. All right, so connect mission planner, not that one. So we have a look at the serial ports. Doesn't work very well, does it? I don't know why that doesn't work very well. Nope, okay. Do it this way. So, serial star protocol. So, 6 is the GPS, which is correct. 1 is that. 2 is Mavlink, and that is DJI, so that's correct. So these are all correct. So what I'm going to do is disconnect, repower with the GPS connected, and let's see if we can see anything. All right, GPS connected. Let's connect Mission Planner again. So let's see what we've got here. Messages. Nothing looking like GPS. Let's see whether the compass is there. Don't have compass. Alright, so compass enabled. We want the compass enabled. And then we also want the GPS enabled. GPS 1 type. So we want that set to auto. We need to reboot. Not looking promising so far. So we've got SAM M10 no fix here. So the GPS is working. So that's great news. So now the question is, can I make the compass work? I'm going to have to check the wiring. So the GPS is working. Great. Perfect. Compass not happy. Yeah, GPS is definitely working. All right, let's investigate that. So what I'm wondering is whether So I've got my thing here. I've connected to these two little solder pads here that you can see. But I'm wondering, they're on the side. You can see the LRS chip behind there, whereas the MCU is sort of below and to the left. And I'm just wondering whether I need to actually solder to the other side. Feels like you should be able to solder to those pads, but tricky to know. I'll have to have another look. All right. Ha! We have success. Amazing, amazing, amazing. But, oh boy. So there's two pads labeled SCL SDA, and I thought, well, maybe those are them. So I tried those, didn't work. The other pads I tried didn't work. And then I think, as it said earlier, when you look on this picture, let's find this picture. Here we go. So we've got this picture here, and it says RX-TX, so RX-TX. And I noticed that this side of the pad is closest to the MCU. These are impossibly small, but could it be that they are the right pads? Turns out they are the right pads. You have to solder to these impossibly small pads that are closest to the MCU, and then, wonder of wonders, you get a compass. I think if we go into compasses here, we've got an external compass. Wow, amazing. All right, so now I've just got to try and make those connections just a little bit safer. How those pads are going to stay, I'll probably put some hot glue or something on them, but golly, you would have thought there would be an easier way, but I've tried all the other ones, they don't work. So unless there's a special way of getting those SCL SDA pads to connect in, I just don't know what you do. Yeah, I do not know. Only Beta FPV could answer that. Maybe they'll answer that. Cheers then. Right, let's solder this up, put it back together. Nice. Oh dear. All right, compass calibration. Let's try this. We see the compass still. Yes. Compass. Start. Can't see me waving it around. Right. Calibrated. Nice. All right, and GPS is red, So, time to go out and fly this. Let's see whether it works. Amazing. There's too much. This is too close to the radio, the video transmitter, and so there's too much interference. So although I got a GPS lock, I only ever got 7 sets. Don't think I had position home. Compass seemed to work. So didn't get into loiter, but you know, proved the point. The electronics will work. Did fly an acro and flew pretty well. The tune was pretty good. So I'll post some videos after this. Thanks.